Down to business. I got my wild cherry Diet Pepsi, and I got my blackjack gum here, and I got that feeling. Yeah, that familiar feeling that something rank is going down out there.
Brothers don't shake hands. Brothers gotta hug.
Oh, me, sir, goddammit.
Come out to the coast, we'll get together, have a few laughs. As far back as I can remember, I always wanted to be a gangster.
You ever seen a grown man naked?
I'm your huckleberry.
It's over, Johnny. It's over. Oh, my arm. It's broken.
Put that coffee down.
That's a huge bitch.
The royal penis is clean, Your Highness.
Those men wanted to have sex with me.
What does dumb fuck mean?
Hey, where are the white women at?
Yeah, there we go. It's Saturday night, and it's THT movie review. And as usual, I've got Anthony. What's up, Anthony?
What's going on, man?
Not much, man. Still trying to recover from the circus yesterday.
The circus, you say? I haven't been to the circus in years. How was your experience?
Been to the circus in years. Now, I knew there weren't going to be elephants, but my son was actually upset about that. So, because they've gotten rid of all the elephants. They're all moved to different places. I think some even went to Florida, that Lion Country Safari or whatever. But it was cool, man. They got a lot of shit going on now. They got the guys on bikes. And it was actual Ringling Brothers, Oh yeah, Ringling Brothers, Barnum and Bailey Circus, and man, everything is. I was telling you, a little while ago, everything is so expensive, dude. $5.50 for a water, $9.50 for a beer, a 16-ounce beer. Literally, I can go buy a 12-pack of 16-ounce Coors Lights for $12.99 right now. Oh, yeah.
Same here. It's just everything's so goddamn expensive. It's like part of the reason why I honestly, and this is not me being a cheapskate, but this is part of the reason why I don't go to too many WWE shows anymore. Like I'll go to like the occasional Raw taping, maybe a pay-per-view if it's worthwhile. But going to just a basic house show, and this isn't even WWE's fault, it's the arena's fault because it's how they make their money. You'll go and literally just for like some fries, a burger, and a regular fountain drink, you'll spend damn near $20.
We went to Whataburger before the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, we definitely did that. Bobby Anthem in the chat saying he loves the intro. I did that after I came back from the circus and I started drinking at home. About 5 beers in, I decided I'm going to see if I can make an intro. So I threw that together and haven't had time to do anything else, but it was quick, it was easy, and I threw it together. Appreciate that, Bobby.
Yeah. Thank you, Bob. Oh, Bobby
No,
Anthem
I did
that?
it. Bobby said he loved it.
Oh, thank you, Bobby. Thank you. Appreciate it. And by the way, special shout out to that guy, Bobby Anthem, man. He really goes out of his way to support us on Twitter and spread the word. So much love, Bobby. Really appreciate that, bro.
So, tonight, I guess that's enough of circus talk. It was cool. They got the guys on bikes there. They shot a lady out of a cannon. They got the guy doing the pendulum who scared the shit out of everybody. He looked like he was going to fall so many times. You know the pendulum, the circle thing? He was doing the jump rope. Literally, it got caught behind his leg.
Jesus. Oh, that just reminded. Did they do the tightrope?
Yeah, they had some people doing the tightrope thing. They were good. They did 4 people standing, and they did some crazy shit, man, on that tightrope. I mean, there's a big balloon mat underneath them, but, you know, I don't think they want people dying anymore. So, you know. But, yeah, that guy was scaring the shit out of me. But they got some tightrope people. They had tons of clowns.
He would have been in heaven
actually,
then.
One of them was really hot. One of them was. She walked past me, and I was like, "Damn!" I see what Shaheen's talking about now. But
so Shaheen might have.
I don't know about that, but I think I might understand what he's talking about now. So, yeah. But I'm trying to think of what else they had. I mean, they just had everything. Dogs. They had poodles running around. They had tigers. So they had a lot of things, but it was really cool. I haven't been in years to the fair. The last fair I went to was, they used to have a fair at a place in Florida, in Fort Lauderdale, called the Swap Shop. Big indoor/outdoor flea market. So, yeah, they used to have a little circus there. I went there once, but that was it. I haven't been, I'd say, 15 years. But we got lucky with the tickets. The tickets were cheap, but goddamn, like I was telling you, the beer prices, the water price, you want a little... Parking was $15.
Even that's just a little steep.
The spot we got was... We got lucky, dude. We were out in... I hit no traffic leaving. And we stayed till the end. I got...
got your money's worth out there.
I got
fucking
lucky,
beer, huh?
dude. We got out. Our seats were right by the door. We parked outside. We walked right out, walked to our car, got in, and got out of there. Oh, I was lucky as hell, but... it was really cool. My kids had a blast. They wanted the lights and the little laser guns, $20-$25 a piece. Motherfuckers. Gouging people, these motherfuckers.
Yeah, motherfuckers.
They got to make money somewhere, I guess. A lot of traveling to do in the circus. Anyway, let's get into this. We are going to talk about WWE's movie Countdown. This movie, the main 2 stars...
It's fucking great.
I gotta admit, I loved it. I would stop and watch this if it was on cable. Put it that way. Definitely.
Yes.
Nick Nemeth, also known as Dolph Ziggler, to most of the WWE fans, plays Ray Patrick, a cop. Glenn Jacobs actually plays, who's Kane. We all know that. He plays a lieutenant in this movie, a police lieutenant. A hard ass. A lot of the other actors I really did not know. The girl who was, the cop with him, the internal affairs cop, Catherine Isabel. I don't know who she is. Very pretty girl, though. The other guy, his partner, I didn't know. But overall, I will say I loved this movie.
I enjoyed the hell out of it. And this is, a little nitpick. It was kind of weird that, I was scrolling through the credits here because I actually have it on now as a reference guide here. In the credits, they have Ziggler listed as his character named Dolph Ziggler. But interestingly enough, they list Kane as Glenn Kane Jacobs.
Well,
so that was kind of weird.
If you watch See No Evil with him in it, it's the same credit, I believe. I think that's just how they credit him. They didn't have to credit. I don't know why they do the credits the way they do. It's all,
yeah, it's like that weird work shoot. Like I said, it's no big deal. But I just figured if you're going to go to the trouble of saying, okay, Kane isn't really Kane, his name is really Glenn Jacobs, why not do the same for Ziggler? Because obviously people know that Dolph Ziggler's name isn't really Dolph Ziggler.
Well, let's hope not. His parents didn't hate him that much. So...
at this point, I'm just used to it.
Yeah.
He's had the name for damn near, a decade now. So.
It works for him, but Dolph.
He would have been a great tag partner for
He
Val
actually
Venus,
would have
I know
been. And
that.
I'll tell you what, Dolph Ziggler in this movie surprised me. Good acting. Good, just basically good acting. He was believable as a cop, as a badass rogue cop. And I got to tell you, this movie oozes the kind of cheese that I like. This movie was so look. It was a cheesy rogue cop movie. The badass can't have a partner cop goes out. I mean, come on. It was a little bit of last what was it? Last Action Hero-ish. But what a fucking movie! I loved it. The plot was good. It was not a long movie, over quick, but good.
Yeah, it really was. And honestly, you know what I attribute it to? In wrestling, not just WWE, so we're not going to pick on WWE here. In wrestling in general, you had to emote, you had to be over the top. Wrestling's always been kind of hokey, let's be honest. Whereas in movies, even though this is hokey, let's not kid ourselves, this is very hokey. His role required a more subdued approach. He's like the hard-edged cop that got a lot of shit going on at home. He wants to get the job done by any means necessary. Kane has to put him in his place. And I gotta say this, before I forget this, I had this in my notes. I was as hokey and as over the top as this movie was. I am very disappointed in the directors. I am very disappointed that we did not get Kane flipping out and choke slamming somebody.
Yeah, we didn't get that. We didn't get even a choke slam at all. I was expecting at least a choke slam from Kane. And I guess you kind of said problems at home. I guess we should preference it by saying Dolph Ziggler had a son. The son was killed in a car accident. They don't explain that till the end of the movie how he was killed, but he does explain it. So it's just again one of those rogue cop. Can't have a partner because he's just too tough for a partner, and all his partners leave him. But can you explain how are these guys so good outside of the WWE? And I mean, this movie's still technically a WWE movie, but how do they act so well when they're not in like doing a promo? What's the difference? Dolph.
Once again, I mean, I definitely get what you're saying, and especially especially Kane, and I'm going to get to him later because he really, he has a future in Hollywood. Not Rock type future, but I think he has a future. But as far as to answer your question, I think it comes down to the storylines. Look, WWE, not to make this an all wrestling based show right now because it's talking movies.
Well, it's a WWE movie, so it's going to happen. Go ahead.
But what I was trying to say is basically, I think that WWE, they're basically catering to Vince McMahon's tastes and preferences, and sometimes the storylines, it's hard to, let's be honest, some of the storylines that you are asking these guys to sell are very hokey, very over the top, so it's kind of hard to really bring a serious edge to it, and you're basically placating to Vince's sensibilities, and let's be honest, Vince is a 70-year-old man that has like a child's mentality. He thinks poop jokes are funny.
Yeah.
So it's kind of hard to, you know what I mean? He did a segment with Kevin Owens sitting under a table eating a bag of potato chips doing the food fight deal. So that's his sensibility. So it's kind of hard to kind of pull out these type of performances when you're asking guys to sell silly shit.
Yeah, it is. I don't know. It's just amazing how much better these guys can act when they're in a movie. I mean, Dolph Ziggler, like I said, he's fucking believable as a cop. I honestly could see Dolph doing more movies as an action star.
You think so? You think he has a career post WWE?
I think he could have a post WWE career doing some action movies, man. He just has the look, and like I said, I look. We've established before. I do like bad movies. This kind of was, like I said, this movie oozes the kind of cheese that I like. It's not the greatest movie, but I like it. I like these kind of movies, and as long as the guy's believable as what he is, I don't care. I'll watch the rest of it, But back to the movie real quick. A little boy is kidnapped, and basically the countdown part of this movie is they have 6 hours to find this child. And, of course, during this 6 hours, Dolph Ziggler, his character, is fired or suspended. Correct, suspended.
I can't. The Demon Kane suspended Dolph Ziggler.
Suspends Dolph Ziggler. And, of course, you know, they call him back the next day and use him for bait, which, all right, look, this would never happen. They would never use this guy for bait if he wasn't actually a cop. But anyway, that's where the 6 hours, the countdown name comes in. They have 6 hours to save this child. Now, this movie, if anyone saw the trailer, it did have a WWE tie-in where they were actually backstage at a WWE event. He was looking for the kid. He was going to make a payoff. You got a quick glimpse of Dean Ambrose. You got a quick glimpse of Big Show, New Day. How the fuck did the Ascension make it? What the fuck?
Yeah, yes, the folks. My hand is the guide right now. This is the only time you will ever see the Ascension get a featured role in any type of movie.
Roman Reigns, they even showed Santino to let you know how far back this movie was taped. There's a quick little shot of Santino doing his little walk in the back. So, he's going through there, but they even show Charles Robinson, Daniel Bryan.
Yes. And you know what else they showed? Apparently, it's very easy to get backstage at a WWE event.
Obviously, very easy. And that, he runs into Rusev at one point, and he does...
Yes, Rusev is responsible for the greatest scene in modern-day cinema. Fuck you if you disagree. This was awesome.
Real quick. Here's the Ascension coming out right now. I got a play in two here. So let's see here. Let me try to get to that part right there.
The Lucha Dragons also made a brief little cameo.
Yeah, they were coming down to the ring too. The Lucha Dragons, yeah.
And he was only on camera for a second, but they showed New Day, and this is probably when they were still heels, because you could tell like they was early in that run. They were coming out mugging with the crowd. Big E was only on camera for about 10 seconds, but he had a scene where he was coming to the ring and he got into it with a fan that was priceless.
Right. Here, let's see. I think I'm almost at the part here where he gets to Rusev. All right, he shoots the security guard. Dolph's chasing him through a WWE event. Oh, quick plug for WWE in the back. He's running up. Rusev shoulder tackles him.
Show me your badge.
Boom! Super kick. And Lana goes,
yes.
Now that's a real man.
Now, Mom, after watching that scene, you know what that proves? That wrestling moves really work in real life situations.
I mean, if you've never super kicked one like a person in a real fight, you're missing out on life, guys.
So, folks, if somebody ever pulls a gun on you, just pull back, Shawn Michaels style. Hit them with some sweet chin music, and all problems will be solved.
Stand back, kick the ground, and tune up the band, motherfuckers.
Yeah, I mean, but look, I'm sorry, man. Look, a lot of people will look at that scene and mock it and say this, that, and the other. But I like this movie. I like movies because this movie specifically because it doesn't take itself too seriously. It plays to the strengths of the people involved, and it knows it's not going to win any type of awards. It's just out to make a movie, make a little money, and have some fun. Mm-hmm. And that's what that scene was. To
this movie explained to me what the fuck Lana and Dolph Ziggler were doing together at all in the first place about a year ago. Or a few months ago. Remember when they had Dolph and Lana together for a while?
Yeah, that was like the never-ending storyline. I swear they got almost a year worth of footage of that.
Because of this movie, they must have put them together so they could, kind of be together for the movie release. That's... And yet, like I said, they had no camera time together, so even that doesn't make any sense. No, but it's the only thing that can explain why Dolph was involved in that storyline at all, is because they had this little movie together, all three of them, that little part. So, that's the only explanation. God forbid they explain that to us. God forbid.
And the funny thing is, outside of that trailer, I don't recall WWE once promoting this fucking movie.
I think I saw it a few times when it first came out. When did this come out? Give me 2 seconds here. Let me go back to the old IMDb.
It came out, what, April?
Let me go to here. Originally known Countdown. The movie originally was known as 642, which was the time that was how much time they have. 6 hours 42 minutes, right there. And it
No.
April 5th, 2016. Wow. And it's another Lionsgate film, of course, but this movie really, like I said, it's a cop movie with cheese, my kind of movie. We know I love cop shows, cop movies. It's just perfect for me. This was perfect for me to watch.
I loved it. No complaints from me. And I want to point out a theme. Like, you brought up the theme of the movie. It's called Countdown because they got 6 hours and some change to say to kid. Box, does anybody listening to this show right now, do you notice a trend? Damn near 50% at least of WWE's movies involve a plot where somebody has to save a loved one or a kid or whatever in a specified amount of time. WWE Countdown. WWE 12 rounds. Fucking The Condemned. Everything revolves around a fucking time frame. WWE, expand your horizons. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Everything revolves around, oh shit, we gotta say the kid in 4 hours and 15 minutes. Like, Jesus, like, do they know any other plot lines?
I think Leprechaun might have been different. So, Leprechaun Origins. So, maybe not. I don't know. Who knows? Maybe I don't know. But you're right. A lot of the movies, you know what? A lot of movies today seem to have that same plot. I'm not going to completely shit on WWE here. I'm going to shit on all the movies that have been coming out lately. A lot of them are kind of like that. The countdown clock. You have this amount of time, or the building blows up. It's the same shit. It's just what they do in the movies now. Let's see. Dolph definitely, though, was a badass in this movie.
Yes. You know who else is a fine ass is that the cop. Did you sense a little sexual tension between her and Dolph? I thought they were gonna hook up at some point in the movie.
You never know. You never know. Dolph's Dolph. Yeah.
Yeah, Dolph is the dude. Remember that has that athletic sex.
Amy Schumer let us know.
He's the originator of a
That's
hot
right.
spot in the pussy.
He is, absolutely. But let's see a little bit more in this movie, if we can get to a little bit more. I mean, we've basically just explained the whole plot. Unfortunately, that's the movie. Ray Thompson, a narcotics cop, has to do that. But I guess we should get into some of the things that they get into at the end of the movie. They figure out there's things that the person left, like the ransom was, what was it, $2,135.12. Okay.
Yeah.
There was and whole movie they were trying to figure out what the fuck was going on, who's doing this, why are they doing this, and they do finally figure it out. It takes a while, but of course that girl cop, does everything. And of course they try to arrest Dolph Ziggler because he's on this case and he's not supposed to be. But they do get him at one point, bring him in. And, dude, the scene where he breaks out, I got to admit, is pretty fucking badass. The scene where he, after the tattoo shop, they bring him in and yeah.
Oh, yeah, he comes in with the bat, starts tearing shit up.
Gets a little bit of fighting in. Gets a few moves in, but the girl in this, the girl who played the Catherine Isabel was her name. What else has she done? Why don't we take a quick peek while we're in IMDb here? Has she done anything to note? She looks familiar.
Yeah, she looks familiar, but I haven't seen her in anything.
Oh, Ginger recently. Snaps, American Mary, Freddy vs. Jason. She was in that. She was in Insomnia.
Wow, I gotta go because I watched Insomnia. That's an underrated flick. We'll get to that down the line.
I watched it yesterday. Who the fuck was she?
I gotta rewatch that because I've seen that movie a few times. I don't
She
recall
was in
seeing
it, I
her.
guess. I missed it. I didn't see it. I'm just trying to see if there's any movies we've heard of. I haven't heard of a lot of these movies she's been in, but it says she's also from British Columbia to Canada, so that could be a definite reason why we haven't heard of a lot of these. She was in that TV show, The L Word. I never saw that. She was in Stargate SG-1. My fiance might know her from that. Yeah, Freddy vs. Jason, she was in that, so I'm going to have to... Man, I just watched Insomnia yesterday before the circus. I didn't even notice she was in it. Oh.
Hey, hey, Box, you want to hear
Always.
something funny? I couldn't sleep, so I was watching Insomnia last night.
What did I watch when I came home? I watched Countdown yesterday, Insomnia before, and then I came home. I can't even remember what the fuck I watched. I got pretty fucking hammered last night.
Ain't no party like a Boxman party, because a Boxman party
That's
don't
right.
stop, folks. When you can't remember shit, you know it was a
Sitting at
good
home,
time.
drinking alone. I can tell you what I watched. I just need to go find out what it was. I know where it was in my. It was in movies. It was action. It was A Time to Kill with Matthew McConaughey and Samuel L. Jackson.
Oh, that was a fucking
That's what I
great
watched
movie.
when I got back last night while I had 5 beers.
Yes, damn, you're bringing back memories. I actually saw
I
that
like
in the
that
movies.
movie. That's a great movie. We'll have to do that one day too. That's a really one of those powerful, based on a novel type movies. So yeah, we'll definitely get into that.
Yeah, and not to be a nerd here, but this is a movie show, and we do like to spit random factoids. It's actually 20 years old this
Really?
year. Came out in
Really?
1996. Yep, I can't remember the exact date, but I remember specifically seeing that flick with my folks in the movie. In the movies.
And that girl, the girl we were just talking about a minute ago, Kate Isabel, she was also in See No Evil 2 with Kane. So that must be where they got her.
Yeah, and I think See No Evil actually comes out this fall. Like October, like around Halloween time.
Not sure. But anyway, I guess we should try to get back to this movie. Unfortunately, it's just kind of a... I don't know, say this, the music in the movie, definitely, it's a WWE movie.
I was waiting for Nickelback to break into a live performance.
I was waiting for Matt and Jeff Hardy to come out. Every song sound like their fucking theme song. Every fucking...
You mean that?
Every song. Hold on, let's see. What are we doing here? Hold on, let's see. Let's just start up and see what we can get here.
I actually thought the song that opened the movie was badass.
Another fighting. Yep, he's breaking out of prison right here. Or not prison, but he's breaking out of his own station is what he's breaking out of. He's held by his own guys. What else here? But yeah, I mean, most of the movie, the cars chase scenes all had that WWE-esque, all of it. Yes. All the WWE-esque music was in it. But I liked it.
But I'm actually surprised. One of these days, Bucks, you know what I'm waiting for? I'm waiting for a WWE movie to come out with a character named Katie Vick.
God. Kane did at least get to shoot Dolph Ziggler with rubber bullets.
Boom, stuttering here. Dolph once again proved why he's one of the best modern day sellers of all time.
Yeah.
Dolph will sell for bullets. He will sell for anything.
I wonder if he did his own stunts in this movie. That's probably a one question right there, but I don't know.
But like I said, I don't know about you, Box, but before I sat down, got comfortable last night, and put this flick on, I was prepared to come on here and bury it and trash it. I even had a whole routine ready. I had a joke ready. I said, you know what? WWE Countdown sucks. Matter of fact, this movie sucks so hard. If it was a dick, Missy Hyatt would suck it. Now, to the people that are listening to this show that are non-wrestling fans, you probably don't know who Missy Hyatt is, so I don't know what to tell you. Google the name Missy Hyatt and you'll get the reference. To our wrestling fans out there, our wrestling friends out there, you get the reference. But honestly, I can't knock this movie. It's like I said, it's not going to win any type of awards or anything like that, but it really is one of those movies that if you're at home on a rainy day or you don't got shit to do, if you're flipping through channels, if you find it, you'll stop and watch it, and I think you'll get some enjoyment out of it. It's not that long. I don't even think it's an hour and a half. It might be an hour and 25 minutes or so. It flies by.
It's longer than that. Hold on here. I'll tell you right now. It's exactly an hour and 30. It's 1:30:07 to be exact. Yep,
not bad,
hour and 30 minutes.
I think if WWE kind of sticks to this formula, even though, like I said earlier, it is getting kind of annoying that every fucking movie has to revolve around time. But I think if they stick to this general type format, they might have a winning formula on their hands. Do you think they could get like a sequel out of this? I mean, they're already up to like 5 Marines.
Yeah, so definitely there's going to be another countdown. I'll tell you the truth. You put the same people in it, I'm going to fucking watch it.
Yeah, I can picture the title now, WWE Countdown. Even more time.
Time extended.
Think about it. I mean, what else can you fucking call it?
Oh, shit. 7 more minutes.
God.
Yeah, I'll tell you the truth. I turned this movie on dreading watching it, going, this is going to suck. And 10 minutes in, I'm going, holy fuck, Dolph Ziggler's really good in this. Kane is fucking amazing, but Dolph Ziggler was real.
Kane is fucking, I don't give, look, I mean, say what you want, Kane, I know Kane to a lot of people, like, he's been a punchline for a couple years now, needs to retire. But Kane, to me, is one of those guys, especially after watching this movie, once he really is done with wrestling and he hangs it up, he's not like, he'll have a job with WWE for life. But when he's done with his in-ring career, I think he's one of those guys that people are going to look back on and go, damn, we really should have appreciated him more. Because he's one of those guys that when he's not overexposed, he's pretty fucking good. Promos, in-ring.
Yeah, he is. It's just he's been around long, and people are getting sick of the old crew, and now there's a new crew coming in. That's the whole new era is coming up. But Kane definitely, I think, has a future outside of WWE, whether it's in politics, like I know he likes, or I think he could probably do some fucking acting. I haven't watched any of those horror movies he's in, but I haven't heard much bad stuff about him.
Yeah, Kane's a, surprisingly enough, despite the gimmick he's played over the years, very intelligent, well-spoken guy.
Yeah, I mean, he's he definitely wants to get into politics. He owns his own business. He's very smart. It's like JBL is a great businessman too, but you wouldn't expect it by looking at him or listening to him. But
yes. Yeah, remember, I guess since we were on a wrestling note, you brought up JBL. Remember during the Attitude Era, he came out with that little book, Make More Money Now. I'm like, I thought that was fucking hilarious. And mind you, folks, this is when he was still in APA mode.
Was it? I don't remember that book.
Yeah, you can. Let me Google it now. I'm trying to figure. I think it came out just before he started doing the JBL character.
That might be why.
But he came out with a book. I am not lying on
wouldn't
this.
Doubt it.
It was called Make More Money Now. And he was like filled with investment tips, which at the time I just thought was bizarre.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, though, man, they got to make wrestling a little more like this. WWE should think about this. I know this is, expensive and this and that, but goddamn, do some more of this. Make some more movies. I love these action movies like this. There's shit blowing up for no reason, cars blowing up, people dropping grenades in their own car. I love it.
Yes, honestly, that's all any movie really needs. Some hot women, shit blown up for no reason. Just that, like you said, that badass road cop with a chip on his shoulder.
Yeah.
Like, now, don't get it twisted. Dolph Ziggler is no Martin Riggs.
no.
But he has a future.
No. I wouldn't see him in a Lethal Weapon, but pretty much some of the movies that, I could see him doing some of the Stone Cold straight to DVD stuff, Netflix stuff like that. I could see him doing that. I definitely could, but I don't know. This probably won't be a long show because this movie kind of is a little bit self-explanatory. We've kind of explained most of the movie. But they figure out all the stuff, and I got to get back to that, but I don't know. Obviously, the end of the movie, it's a movie. He does save the child at the end of the movie. Still ends up blowing up the forensic lab in the police station, but does save the child, of course. It's a movie, of course. That's what happens in movies. Hope everybody knows that.
Yes.
But,
you had to, like I said, even though I have been known to say, fuck the kids, when people appeal to my sensibilities about why WWE is the way it is now, I don't want to see any kiddos die. So he had to say the kid. And I gotta say, I don't know too much about the guy that played the villain in this movie, but man, like he wasn't much of a villain. They really honestly kicked his ass like 25 minutes into the movie. So I mean, it really was no sense. That's one thing I will say. Much like in WWE television, where the heels are consistently booked like shit, the heels in this movie were booked like shit.
Yeah.
They really weren't much of a threat.
The guy wasn't that much of a threat. And, he's the guy who played, what was it? What was the fucking name of that guy? I don't even fucking know. I know Josh Blacker was his partner.
Yeah, I mean, I brought up Lethal Weapon. We brought up briefly Lethal Weapon earlier. You remember Gary fucking Busey in the original Lethal Weapon?
Oh yeah. What was his fucking name in that movie? Mr. Jake? I don't know. But yeah, of course I remember Gary Busey.
Yeah, but I mean, I can't remember. Like, I'm gonna look it up now. I can't remember his name off the top. But my point is, he was like a believable villain. Like, I mean, they had to fucking work like a motherfucker. And if you remember, he didn't even die at the end of the movie. He got arrested.
Yeah, I'll admit the villain in this movie played a kind of stupid guy. He actually ended up blowing up himself in the car with a grenade that he dropped. But not overall, like I said, not a bad fucking movie. The cast is actually relatively small in this movie. Not a very big cast, but again, WWE is always trying to make movies as cheap as they can, because a lot of these movies go straight to DVD.
Yeah. Yep. To date, if you look at all of the WWE movies that they produced so far, I think easily the biggest one they did was that movie The Call, and the biggest star they've worked with is Halle Berry.
I think you might be right.
And that's another movie. Say what you want. I mean, David Otunga was in the movie, but like he was a side piece. Like, even though they promoted him in the movie heavy, he's really not in the movie like that. But that was, I would say, Countdown is my favorite of the WWE movies I've seen so far, and I would say The Call is number 2. I don't know if you've seen The Call yet.
David Otunga was in it? You did?
Yeah. No, yeah, because they did the deal where he was on TV, like, I'm in the movie, Halle Berry, blah, blah, blah. She actually filmed a few promos for him around that time. Like, she did some skits with Kane promoting the movie.
I remember that, but
I can't remember exactly when it came out, but I definitely remember Otunga back when he was an active wrestler. They were doing gimmicks where he was like playing a Hollywood role. I was in the movie with Halle Berry.
Yeah, that's one reason for me not to watch it.
No, but honestly, seriously, I would actually watch the movie. It's actually a good movie.
God, that guy is so bad.
I mean, but literally, like, honestly, he's really not in it. He doesn't affect anything long term. He's like the cop.
All right.
He's like the partner. Like, he's the partner to the guy that you don't know actually is more of a has more of a role in the movie than Otunga does, and Otunga's like the name guy.
That makes sense. Yeah, came out in 2013, by the way, Anthony. The Call.
And just to because we don't like to leave logic holes on this show, from the original Lethal Weapon, Gary Busey's character name was Joshua.
I wanted to say Jacob for some reason. I knew it was a J name. I did.
But it's not, like I said, we can't really beat too much of a dead horse. That's essentially the plot of WWE Countdown. Definitely go out of your way to see it. Because, like I said, don't let those 3 letters, WWE, scare you off. I'm pretty sure at this point, if you go to Walmart, you can find it in the $5 bin. Or you could download it. I'm throwing up the quote fingers. You guys can't see me. You can download it. Anywhere,
have fun.
But, it's definitely worth 90 minutes of your time. It's not a bad.
Have fun trying to download, by the way, because all the torrent sites are down right now, bro. Most of them.
You mean the government in Hollywood have finally found a way to shut down us cheapskates?
I think Windows has found a way to catch your IP on it, but I'll say it. The main place I used to go was Kick-Ass Torrents, and I can't get anything from there. They want you to do some sort of sign up and credit card number and shit. I ain't doing that. Yeah, so they're trying to, they've already said there are heavy fines in the U.S. Pirate Bay just says heavy fines in the U.S. We will not download.
And speaking of this pirate and shit, got me heated on this because I was actually going through some of my old DVDs. And anybody, Box, do you remember like that little fucking commercial they had on DVDs? You wouldn't steal a handbag. You wouldn't steal a VCR. You wouldn't steal a DVD. Mm-hmm. So why would you? Well, first of all, motherfucker, people steal this shit all the time. And then they would go through the deal. You shouldn't steal a movie. Downloading is wrong. Rated I. Illegal for everyone. And all of this shit. Remember those hokey ass videos they used to produce?
Yeah, I do. And then I would get up and...
What did you think?
I would get up and go download the movie.
Oh, God. And they were so theatrical. Like, you wouldn't steal a handbag. And you wouldn't steal a cell phone. You wouldn't steal somebody's car. Meanwhile, I turn on my local news. And mind you, I'm from Philly. I turn on local news. Local man robs bank today. I guess the downloading people didn't get the memo. I'm guessing the people that put together this commercial don't watch the news.
I guess not. But I don't know, man. A lot of people, they are cracking down on that torrent shit. I'm not going to say I didn't expect it eventually to happen. But, yep, they are doing it finally. Yeah, you go to...
Took them long enough, but that's fucking insane to me.
Like I said, I knew eventually it was going to happen. It was bound to fucking happen, put it that way. So, there's still some out there if you look closely. Just be careful doing it. Don't get a fucking, what do you call that? Virus. Don't get a virus. No.
Yeah, I actually got to take my computer to a buddy. He's a computer expert. He want to pimp out my computer.
Nice. Gonna clean it out.
Yes, yeah. And by the way, folks, I don't know, Box is the computer wizard here at THT. But him and Sheen, I'm basically a nomad. I have no idea what the fuck I'm doing sometimes with these computers. Always, I would say always, treat your computer, your laptop, whatever you have, like a child. Get it checked up every 6 months, every few months, making sure you don't get any viruses. Because even just going to random sites, like a Google or a, wrestling website, because we do wrestling podcast, you'll never know as far as what you're getting. Viruses, cookies, just random shit that fucks your computer up.
Yeah, it can happen. Even if, just going to your own websites. But, that's what I'm trying to think if there's anything we missed about this movie that we can dig into, but it's really, I guess, the only plot we did mention is, obvious. He was going after the one guy when he ran into Rusev and Lana, and he does kill that guy before he gets, any information out of him. So that's how they have to start from, 6 hours and 42 minutes to find the child. So, like, they end up putting everything together. This is going to be a short one because it's just not a movie we can get into very much.
I mean, like I said, it's not a deep plot line.
No.
So it's really like, like I said, we're not going to, pull shit out of the sky to go, ooh. This is not Raw. We're not going to squeeze just for the sake of squeezing.
It's your standard action movie with the, just like you said, the road cop with a chip on his shoulder. It doesn't want partners, doesn't work with partners, but goes out, does his job, and of course gets the old handshake at the end from the lieutenant. Good job, Ray. Kane's great line at the end of the movie. Good job, Ray.
Yes, and another underrated scene, I guess, when Dolph gets called. This is going back to the beginning of the movie when Dolph gets called to the principal's office for, being, like I said, that road cop, and I guess like a hot chick, I forgot her name. Damn it, she works in basically internal affairs. She's the guy that has to give Dolph the slap on the wrist saying, bad boy. She's like the Stephanie of the movie, but not as bitchy. I mean, that's the best way I can describe her. She even has that fucking ponytail.
Yeah, she did.
So Stephanie might have had some creative input.
Dude, she had on a suit,
movie.
just like Stephanie wears. I'm looking at it right now.
But she's not as bitchy. Like Dolph, like I said, this is the difference between WWE and the real world. She had a problem with Dolph, like, going into business for himself, but at no point did she
slap him. Oh my God, she is a tiny tit Stephanie. I'm looking at her. Holy shit. This movie, she is that's it. That's it.
You know what it is? She's Stephanie in like the Ministry of Darkness days. Back when Stephanie first showed up on TV, and she was sweet and innocent, didn't say that much, and her voice wasn't as shrill.
Yeah. Yeah. This
is Stephanie during that time frame when she's with Tess.
There you go. Yeah, but definitely, man. I like I said, I went into this movie thinking I was going to hate it, ended up enjoying it.
Before you say something,
yeah, Kane.
Yes. Oh shit! Remember the part? Like I said, I lost my train of thought for a second. Like I said, Dolph gets called into the principal's office, and he's standing up. Badass. They tell him, "Have a seat, Ray," and he's like, "No, I think I'll stand." And then big ass Kane stands up, walks over to him, and forcibly makes him sit down. Before he does, he whispers in his ear, "Sit down, Ray." I don't give a fuck how Kane. I don't give a fuck how old Kane is. A man that big approach you and tell you to sit down. You sit your ass down.
Hey, wait a minute.
That was fucking priceless.
That was good. Hold on here.
Oh shit! Sit down, Ray.
That's all he says to him. Nice and quiet. Sit down, Ray. Let me see if I can find the part. I'm right there at that scene, but. No, he's sitting already. Nope, not going to be able to find. Maybe I can. I don't know. She's about to walk in, so.
Oh, that's the part then.
No,
I don't think it's that long.
She's walking in right now. This is her first little show up in the movie.
Whatever, bitch. Discharging a firearm in the direction of a police officer.
He's going to say it in a minute. Not yet, though. He does say it, though, in a minute when he stands up. I think it's when she walks in, he stands up, right? I think so. We'll wait a second here. But yeah, like I was saying, I went in wanting to hate this movie, thought I was going to really dislike it, ended up being like, fuck, if this is ever on cable, I'm going to fucking stop and watch this shit. I will definitely.
Come on, dude. We got fucking Rusev in his wrestling gear. Show me your gun. Show me your back. Rusev is. Matter of fact, I want to look. People got all of these campaigns, Black Lives Matter. We need to start a campaign to get Rusev a fucking starring role.
I think we need to push for Dolph to get more fucking movie time, more action.
Yeah, Dolph, and like I honestly, after seeing Bruce, even though it was brief, I think Rusev will be a hell of a movie.
He could be too. He could have played. He actually could have been better than the fucking villain in this movie.
Yes. And that's one of those things. Look, once again, I'm not expecting, a whole lot of thought or depth put into the making of this movie, but don't you think they could have maybe possibly given a backstory as to why Rusev felt the need to have a gun?
No. He picked up Dolph's gun. He shoulder blocked him and picked it up. Here you go. Here we go.
Still working hard to put your brothers in blue behind bars?
Oh, if that's where they belong. I was appointed by the OPA to bring this department
let me-
into compliance.
She even
Let me just
sounds
pause
like
it for a
Stephanie.
minute before we get the old YouTube copyright.
That's why
Yeah,
I was talking
that's
over.
fine.
it.
No,
Sorry,
it's cool.
guys.
They do not like me.
They just don't really like it when cops shoot civilians or other cops.
My God, I wish you didn't mention Stephanie, because now all I can see is Stephanie in this fucking character. That's it.
It's the ponytail, bro. It's the
No,
ponytail.
it's the way she moves.
Ooh, it kind of makes you wonder. You know, I guess you can pause it real quick. You think they had Stephanie in mind when they created that character?
I don't know. She did put him down a lot right here in the beginning.
DUI mugshot kind of way.
We being sexist?
Inappropriate.
Inappropriate.
If we're done here,
Sit down.
Here we go.
I'm fine standing.
Sit down, Ray.
One more time. He's standing. Here he goes.
Sit down.
And he forces him down.
Yes. It kind of makes you wonder if, Kane, I guess Kane is obviously, he's like a locker room veteran. Kind of makes you wonder if he kind of gives this speech to those young
I don't know,
whippersnappers
but
in
I'll
the
tell
back.
you what. I could definitely see Kane as a cop. He's got the look. He's got the hair. He's got the height. He just looks like a big, badass, holy shit cop.
Well, I guess that's a nice little transition because not too much else we could say about WWE Countdown. But, to give people more bang for their buck. And shout out to the chat room. We appreciate you guys joining us, hanging with us. If you want to call in, number is 469-206-4466. As a nice little segue out of Countdown, what would you say, Box? What's your favorite all-time cop movie? Buddy cop movie, or maybe favorite cop character, badass balls?
Oh, my God.
Like, I don't know, because like you said, I could picture Kane down the line playing a good pissed-off veteran cop.
Wow.
Trying to keep that road cop
Yeah.
in line. He doesn't like him, but he knows he needs him. He knows he gets results.
Favorite cop movie. Holy fuck, dude. I don't...
We got to give the listeners more bang for their
I'm trying
buck.
to think. What? I mean, there's so many. I love the Lethal Weapons. I love Die Hard. Like I said, 1 and 2 are my favorites. Lethal Weapons are great. Favorite cop movie? My God, I would almost have to go through my cop movies and figure it out.
And quick little trivia note, and this is something, we don't see anymore in Hollywood. But Richard Donner, he was the director of all of the Lethal Weapon movies, all 4 of them, and soon to be 5 maybe. So fingers crossed on that. Every movie, if you look at it from beginning to end, that they've done out of the 4 movies so far, it's kept with the same characters. There was continuity. So even when a character would get killed off, say in Lethal Weapon 2, they would reference it in Lethal Weapon 3. Like, they would keep that kind of consistency going. And you don't really see that a lot. You definitely don't see it in WWE too often anymore. And you don't see it in general in Hollywood, where they pay attention. Like, if you see, like, a movie that has, like, a series of movies to them, attached to them, they don't follow that consistency from movie to movie to movie. But if you look at Lethal Weapon 1 to 4, and I might actually do that in the coming weeks, just to kind of refresh myself on the movies, but they use the same characters, and they always, if a cop character got killed in part 1, they referenced it in part 2. You know what I mean? They didn't replace the character. It was kind of like they would mourn them, blah, 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 and they would make subtle references. Even the side characters that you didn't even have speaking roles, they used them throughout every movie.
One of my favorite cop movies out there. It's sort of a cop movie, sort of a action thriller-ish, kind of a thriller cop movie. It's called Fallen from 1998. John Goodman, Denzel Washington, Tony Soprano, James Gandolfini was in it also. Fucking great cop movie. I love that fucking movie. And I'll tell you what, Seven is another great fucking cop thriller. I like the cop stories where they're chasing someone like that, like a weird, freaky, you know.
Yeah, and Fallen, I haven't seen it in a while, but Fallen and Seven definitely fall into that category of
yeah, and I'll tell you the truth, I like those more than when I'm watching a TV show. I like the straightforward cop. Okay, you know, solve this murder. This is what you're going to do. This is how it goes. But when I watch a movie like Fallen, I love that fucking movie. One of the great movies, and you know, just. John Goodman's amazing in it. So is James Gandolfini, but it's such a creepy movie. I mean, it's basically about a fucking possessed, spirit that can transfer from body to body and doesn't have to be human. We find out at the end of the movie, it can be anything. You know, great fucking movie. Seven is a good one. Another one I like. The freaky kind of cop movie. This turns out to be a cop movie. It's Identity with John Cusack.
I don't think I saw that one. John
Cusack, Amanda Peet, Ray Liotta.
Fucking balls right there. I'm gonna look this
Jake
up
Busey
I like Liotta.
is also in it. Gary Busey's son. He's in it too. Great fucking cop movie. I don't know, man. I guess I prefer my cop movies to be more mystery cop movies, but my TV shows I prefer, like, and we've said before, NYPD Blue is probably my favorite cop TV show. Was.
Yes. Didn't you recently just rewatch like all 12 years
fucking
it was on?
seasons, man. I watched it in about a month and a half. What?
Wow. And let me ask you, Box, what do you stand on movie? Do you like those cop movies or even TV shows where the main character, like, Lethal Weapons is someone on that note right now, where the character has, like, that chip on his shoulder, like that one, like that guy he has to take down? Or, like, put it to you like a Die Hard.
Yeah.
That's your
favorite.
Right?
Both of them, Lethal Weapon and Die Hard.
Remember how Bruce Willis kills Hans in the first one? Then his brother comes back for revenge in the third one, and he sends him on that wild goose. That's part of why, I don't know why, I know you didn't necessarily agree with me, that's why I gotta give an edge to Die Hard with a Vengeance. That was my personal favorite in the series. I mean, Die Hard, the original, is obviously a classic. You can't top the original Die Hard, but I would say the third one came
and don't get me wrong. Trust me, if Die Hard with a Vengeance is on TV, I'm going to fucking stop to watch it. That was not a bad one. I'll watch anything with Samuel L. motherfucking Jackson. But, that one is good. But, yeah, I love all that shit. But, like I said, when it comes to my TV shows, I prefer them a little more straightforward. Like, I've never watched, what was that show, 24? I never got into it, and I've been told, you got to watch it. Go on Netflix and watch it. And I'm like, I might. It's in my list, but I don't know if I'm ever going to get to it. CSI, I got pretty burnt out on pretty quick. I mean, I like CSI, but the complete bullshit reality of what they're really doing, crimes don't really get solved like that. I mean, they do when they don't, but they're way... Half that machinery they have doesn't fucking exist today, and everything's so convenient in those shows. It just kind of I got a little tired of the CSIs. But I'll tell you what, cop shows are making a comeback. There's that new show, Shades of Blue, the Ray Liotta one. Was that what it?
Yeah, I gotta. Yeah, I'm busy, but I gotta catch up on the first season.
That was good.
Still a couple episodes of.
That was good, and I'll tell you what show I was enjoying, and it got pulled off the air. Stalker. That was a good fucking show. It had what's that guy's name? McDermott. Dylan McDermott. I should know that. My son's name is Dylan. But he's in that movie, and it's another fucking great movie. I do like it.
And I don't know about you, Box. I like a lot of weird shit. But there was a show, speaking of shows that got pulled before their time, and this is something, if you can find it on Netflix or Hulu or however you find your movies, hint, hint. It's a TV show, one of my favorite TV shows from back in the day. It's called Veronica Mars. You ever heard of it?
I have heard of it, but never watched it.
Go out of your way and watch it. Because the general gist of it is, obviously, she's like a teenage detective. She's played by Kirsten Bell. The very hot Kirsten Bell. I don't give a fuck what nobody says. She's very hot. But the general gist of the movie, ironically enough, they did make a movie, but it was on for 3 seasons. And with the exception of the 3rd season, what they would do is a season would have like an overarching case that she was trying to solve. And each episode would give you a clue. And she would solve the case by like the end of the season, right? Like the big finale. But along the way, she would get sidetracked with all of these little side cases that she would solve within the confines of that particular episode. But each episode would give her a clue towards solving the bigger case that she's trying to solve. And that's why I liked it, because you really had to watch every episode. And it kind of like, there wasn't like a pointless episode. Every episode, no matter how minor the lead was, it played into the overarching storyline. Now, what happened was, it kind of fell off the rails a little bit in the 3rd season, because she solved the big case like halfway through the middle part of the season, and then the rest of the season was just a bunch of random episodes where she was just solving a case here, a case there. But like I said, if you like those overarching, where a season has like an overarching story that they're building towards, I think you would like the show. It was only on for like I said, 3 years. I actually have all the episodes on DVD. I think it ran for like it might only be like 70 episodes, 68, 70 something episodes, but it's worth going out of your way to see. And it had such a following because, like I said, it got canceled. It was supposed to be a 4th season, where after she graduated to college and all that kind of stuff, she started to work for the FBI, but it got axed. Fuck you, CW, by the way, for that. It got axed, so we never got to see that plot line play out. But it had such a following that they started like a GoFundMe, and it this is like almost 10 years after the show was done. They made enough money off of this GoFundMe to actually make a movie, and it was actually in theaters for a little while. And they, like I said, they brought it back. But like I said, man, it's one of those shows, man, that it's very underrated. It was on from 2004 to 2007.
I'll give you one more of my favorite cop shows, and then I'll give you another one of the, like you just said, off too soon cop shows. Not even cop show, but lawyer shows. Another great TV series is The Shield with Michael Chiklis.
Oh, the commissioner.
Fucking excellent. Watch it, watch it, watch it. I'll tell you the truth. I would recommend that before NYPD Blue, just because it's a newer show. It's great fucking show. 7 seasons. The show looks like it was wrote to be 7 seasons. Done. That's the way it comes off. What a fucking show, though. Excellent show. Now, as far as another one I really was enjoying, and this was back in 1995. I might have been the only person watching this show. It was actually the creator of NYPD Blue, Stephen Bochco, made another show with a character from NYPD Blue, played by, what's this guy's name? Daniel Benzali?
Benzali.
You know this guy. I guarantee you know this guy. He was in, is that his last name? Benzali? Yeah, Benzali. He was in, you know exactly who this fucking guy is. I'm going to tell you right now. You ever see Murder at 1600?
It's been a while, but yeah.
He was the bald guy, Spikings.
Oh, yeah.
And he was in NYPD Blue in the first few seasons as attorney James Sinclair. What else did he do that was big? He was in L.A. Law. He was also in L.A. Law. He was one of the judges that had a complete reoccurring role. So he was a judge in that show. You would know him if I posted his picture right now. You'd be like, oh, that guy. Here, matter of fact, copy image, and I'll kind of just show you this guy. You'll be like, oh yeah, that guy. Here, I'll post it in the chat. Paste. But he was on a television show called Murder One. It was a television show that followed attorneys, but the whole season was one case. Okay, it only went 2 seasons. This guy was in the first season, and Anthony LaPaglia was in the second season. The guy from Without a Trace, he was in the second season, and then it stopped. But it was the same thing. They literally followed one case, episode to episode to episode, throughout the whole season, and then at the end of the season, the jury came back. But it was a fucking amazing show, man. I mean, I even like attorney show. It doesn't have to be a cop show, but this was a good show. I loved it. I think it went off too soon. It was only 2 years, and then it went off the season. Like I said, the first season starred him, and then Anthony LaPaglia was in it. I would have watched this show forever if it was on. Absolutely would have. I thought you might have seen this one, man, called Murder One. Never? I guess it wasn't that big. I watched it when it first came out, but I went back on Hulu about sometime last year and actually watched it again.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, honestly, it's like, I don't know, man. It's just, nowadays we live in like a fast-paced world where it's like people don't have, they're not going to give shows a chance. Like, not to sidetrack from the cops shit we was talking about, but to give people perspective, would you consider Cheers, the show Cheers, an all-time classic? Okay, here's a little trivia note, and I'm not even Googling this. I memorize random shit in my life. Don't ask me why. But do you know, when Cheers first debuted for that first year, it came in like dead last. Nobody fucking watched it. I mean, it was like the critics loved it, but it did not find like an audience. But I think the guy's name was Brad Tartikoff or something like that. He believed in the show. So he greenlit it for like a second season. He gave it a chance like to find an audience. And from the second season onward, it started to develop a following. And it was slowly but surely became what it became. It became fucking Cheers. Now you see DVD box sets. It's online. Everybody loves Cheers. My point in bringing it up is, just imagine if the network, if NBC had looked at the ratings and all of that shit in the first season and said, fuck this show, we're going to axe it. Cheers would have been a show that never was. It would have been that one show that people said 30 years down the line, man, that show was pretty fucking funny. I wish it had lasted longer. They gave it time to develop and find an audience. Nowadays, if a show isn't a hit out of the gate, it was a show on NBC that I was getting into. You ever watch that show Bad Judge? What's that chick's name? Oh my god, she's good. She's good looking too. She was on Grey's Anatomy for a minute. Then she got her own show to practice.
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
The redhead.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about, but I don't know her name. My fiance used to watch Grey's Anatomy. She was a huge fan of it. So
I'm gonna look it up, man. But my point is, that show Bad Judge. She was the star of the show, and it was good. I enjoyed that show. Like, she was like the inappropriate judge. Like, she would come in and she would handle business but she had other shit going on outside of the court. She was drinking. She was, one night stands, blah, blah, blah. That's why the show's called Bad Judge. But it got canceled halfway through the season. But they finished, they played it out. They let the season play out, but they, I think it was on NBC, and they made the announcement, the show's been canceled. It's not going to be renewed for a second season. But they let the season play out on air. That pissed me the fuck off. I'm like, you got to give shit a chance to find an audience. I would say, what would you say? At least 2 years is a good gauge, or you need more time?
The problem is, nowadays, I hate to sound like an old man, but nowadays, there's so many fucking channels. There's so much to watch. If you're not gauging an audience in your first year, they don't think you're ever going to.
Oh, wow, I'm sorry to cut you off, Box. Kate Welsh.
Okay, there you go.
That's her name, Kate Welsh.
Just like we say, we'll tie it in. This is THT, so we'll tie it into wrestling real quick. Just like wrestling has evolved, television has super evolved. It's a different thing. Think about when Cheers came out. How many channels did people have? 5? 8?
And you think, and think about it. The three major ones were what? NBC, ABC,
CBS,
and
and
CBS,
then Fox came out and became kind of a network channel too. But I mean, Cheers. Back then, like you were saying, that fucking show went 11 seasons. I happen to have all 11 seasons right here on my external hard drive too.
So you know their names.
Everybody knows your name.
Now, did you sing the theme song?
Dude, I was a kid when this show was out. When the fuck was this? God damn! I remember my parents let me watch it too. Cheers.
It was like, once again, random factoid. I believe it debuted in 82.
82 to 93, exactly, TV series. So let's see. In 82, I would have been 7 years old.
And finally, the key to the mystery, folks, we can now keep track of Boxman's legitimate age, his shoot age.
41 and feeling every fucking year. Just turned 41 last Wednesday. So, yeah, I feel old. Was it Wednesday or Thursday? God damn it. Thursday, sorry. Wednesday night, Thursday. Yeah, Thursday. So, yeah, and I feel it, but yeah, I love Cheers. But yeah, unfortunately, if you don't get ratings within probably, I mean, what would you say a season was now? Is it 22? 22?
No. To give you perspective on that show, and by the way, if you can find it, it's called Bad Judge. You can probably, like I said, it only ran for let me see here. I pulled it up. 13 episodes. And to give you a perspective of how little patience networks and just society in general has nowadays, the first episode of this show aired October 2nd, 2014. The final episode aired January 22nd, 2015.
See,
so literally a little over 3 months later, at the 13 episodes, they said,
even seasons are shorter now. Because I'll tell you the truth, seasons used to be 22 episodes. Now they're like 13.
Yeah. And honestly, you used to hear, back in the day, and even now, every show, the goal is to get to 100. 100 episodes so you can get syndication. Get syndication, and, it's once you get the 100 episodes, they, fuck it. Everything after that first 100 episodes, you're gravy. Because you have enough, because, like I said, not to get nerdy on you guys, but this, when a show goes into syndication, they like to have at least 100 episodes in the can. So once they do that's like a perfectly round number that they can constantly rewind. Because if you got 60 episodes, it's hard to kind of replay those episodes over because you're going to burn through them quick. So that's the reason why Cheers, and I hate to mention the guy's name, but the reason a show like Cheers or the Cosby Show, because they did 200 plus something episodes, they can air ad nauseum because there's enough episodes in the can. And then and it takes them it probably would take them, if they air it every day, it would still take them about, I would say 6 months or so to run through the complete run of the series.
Yeah. Absolutely. 100 episodes, that'd be 100 weeks, so that's actually a couple of years. But if you ran it every day, yeah.
Yeah, I'm talking about, every day. You figure 52 weeks
so
in a year.
So if you ran it every day, about that.
Yeah, every 6 months it would be on rotation.
Yeah, you'd have to skip 1 or 2 here and there, but you'd get preempted anyway. So, yeah, that would work. But, so many, unfortunately, they just don't give shows chances anymore, and it's just the way it goes. Like I said, I was watching Stalker. That show with Dylan McDermott, and it was a great fucking show. It really was. Maybe because I love fucking cop shows, but I was watching the shit out of this show. But I guess no one liked it. I was really fucking enjoying it. Here, I'll go to IMDb. 2014 to 2015. Yeah, Dylan McDermott and Maggie Q, who I believe was in Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon or something like that. But it was a great fucking show. Basically what they did is they chased stalkers. Kind of makes sense, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It really does, doesn't it? But yeah, they chased stalkers around, but it was a really good show, and it had reoccurring plots where, not the plot, but you know what show she was in? Nikita. Maggie Q was from that show Nikita. I don't know if you ever watched that.
A little bit.
She was the main star of Nikita. But yeah, great fucking show. Great chemistry, I thought, with the actors, but it just never made it. I was dying for a second season. Look, I'm happy as hell that Rookie, not Rookie Blue. Rookie Blue got canceled. Shades of Blue got another fucking season. I was fucking happy as shit.
Yeah. And it's like, hopefully, like I said, it can kind of survive the test of time. But I was just thinking of this. The days of shows going on and like these forever seasons, those are coming to an end. Like, I think on record, the longest show right now is probably like The Simpsons, because they surpassed the original record breaker, which was like Bonanza or something. Bonanza was on for like 20 years, if I'm not mistaken.
Was it Bonanza? It was one of those cowboy shows. You're right. It was one of those.
Yeah, I think it was Bonanza. Now, I think I think the Simpsons, I think the goal is to get to like 30, and then they're probably going to pull a plug on it. But if you think about it, shows like that, once that's off the air, once Law and Order SVU is off the, I don't think we're going to ever live through a time where shows are going 15, 20 years.
I hope, but yeah, you just mentioned fucking Law and Order SVU. It's hard to believe that's the only one still alive.
Yeah, that's a fucking mate. Yeah, and honestly, I never really was a big Law and Order guy. And honestly, I haven't seen every SVU, but of the shows, I never really was a big fan of the original. Criminal Intent, I think, was another one. SVU is my favorite one. Out of all of them, SVU is my favorite one.
The only Criminal, I like the latter ones with the Jeff Goldblum. But when Vincent D'Onofrio was in the original Criminal, holy shit, was he fucking awesome in that show. Awesome in that show. He was kind of like a crazy, idiot savant kind of police officer in that show. But he would always get right into people's face, like invade their personal space in the show. And it was fucking amazing. Literally, you could see people getting uncomfortable when he did it. like legit getting uncomfortable. But yeah, I love Criminal Intent. But I still watch SVU. Today I still watch it. It's a great fucking show. There's only, I think we talked about this last time, there's only 2 left from the original, which is Mariska.
Ice-T of all people. That still blows my fucking mind.
That's right. We played Cop Killer last episode.
that blows my fucking mind.
He made a great little movie career for himself and turned it into a fucking... Look, the first movie I remember seeing him in, I have to say, is Breakin'. The first one.
Wow, damn, that's... Wow.
Yep, he was in Breakin'. He was the DJ. He was doing a lot of shit in that movie. Let's see, Breakin'. What year was that? I'm saying 93. 83, I'm sorry.
Yeah, wow. I would have remembered that.
84.
Yeah, I remember
84. And then Breakin' 2 came out the same year? Holy fuck. I didn't know that. They came out with goddamn. And that was one of the original Def Jam recordings, by the way. Yeah, that was him. But yeah, he was in that movie. That was the first movie I remember seeing him in.
That probably was his first movie, because, that was early Ice-T. That probably would have been the first thing on camera that he would have done.
I'm sure we can pull him up on IMDb. Here he is. And then he was in Trespass. Then he was in another movie called Surviving
Surviving
the Game. Another fucking great.
Yes, when he was the bunk. Yeah. I guess, we were talking about WWE Countdown. Once again, another movie that relies on time and a fucking game.
Yeah, it looks like he was actually in the TV series Fame, and Breakin' was his first movie. Then he was in the second one, and then New Jack City. Ricochet. I like Ricochet. Denzel Washington, John Lithgow. Have you seen that one?
Yeah. What was it again?
Ricochet. Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Great movie. Ice-T is in that movie. Trespass, King James. God, and Surviving the Game. He was in Johnny Mnemonic? I don't remember that.
Yeah, I try not to remember. That was a Keanu Reeves, right?
I think, yeah. Yeah,
or
it
was that,
Nope, you're right. No, you're thinking Virtuosity with Russell Crowe. Aren't you? No, not that one. No. He was in, let's see, I'm just trying to see a few more bad. Judgment Day. There you go.
Yes. I brought that up a couple weeks ago on the show. You got to check.
I have recently. Recently, I would say within the past.
Yeah, and that's another guy that doesn't get enough credit since we're on Judgment Day or Judgment Night? Judgment, yeah. Dennis Leary, man, my goodness. You talk about a believable badass in a movie.
Let me give you one movie where I think he was probably at his best. Suicide Kings. Christopher Walken.
The one that just came out? That's
Suicide Kings. Christopher Walken, Jay Moore, who I love Jay Moore. I think he's awesome. Who else is in it? The kid who played David and Roseanne is in it.
Oh yeah, the Big Bang
right.
guy.
Him. He's in it. What a fucking movie. But Dennis Leary is in it, and he plays a badass motherfucker who basically just throughout the whole. Have you ever seen that movie?
I gotta rewatch. I gotta look back, but it sounds familiar.
That's another one that I own DVD. Never want to fucking get rid of that movie. I love it.
Speaking of one of note of cop movies, if Bobby's still listening, hope he calls in. It's a movie that I don't know if you've seen, Box, but it's one of my all-time classics. It came out in '93. Who's the Man? Dr. Dre and Ed Lover.
Okay, now I remember.
I don't care what nobody says. That to me is a classic.
You know, I like a lot of those old movies with the rappers in them.
I mean, that's silly. Don't get me wrong, but if you really look at the plot, they're trying to avenge the guy who killed the barbershop they worked for because he was the only guy that believed in him. It really was, And anything with Bernie Mac, I'm a co-sign for.
Yeah, Bernie Mac was fucking great, man. I definitely miss him, man.
And he's another guy, not to, make this, not to get too old, because I'll start crying if I talk about Bernie
I ain't
Mac.
scared of you, motherfuckers.
But if he was one of those guys that really kind of came out of nowhere. He was always like I call him the scene stealer. The movie itself could be shit, but if you look at a lot of those movies from like the early to mid '90s, before he kind of blew up with his own show and the Ocean's 11 and all that, he would always be in like these little spot movies, whether it was Friday, How to Be a Player, House Party 3. Where even if you didn't like the movie, you always remembered his part in it. Don't be a menace, for God's sakes. That people can quote that line to this day.
Yeah, like I said, I missed the shit out of him. He was great, and I remember Kings of Comedy. I'll be honest, I do not like D.L. Hughley. I do not like D.L. Hughley. I can stomach Steve Harvey, but the main two I watched that for were Cedric and Bernie Mac. Cedric the Entertainer and Bernie Mac. I like Cedric the Entertainer too. He's great. In those fucking barbershop movies, Eddie, he's awesome in those. Again, stupid movies, I like them.
Yeah. And by the way, a little trivia note. Fucking Bernie Mac was he was the headliner. He would go on, if you looked at that original Kings of Comedy movie, they did a tour, and they taped one of the tours for a DVD release and movie release. Because I actually saw that in the movies. That fucking Bernie Mac would close out every show because it was one of those situations where you don't put the main event on first. Because he was by far in other words, if you started with Bernie Mac, it would have got progressively worse from there. So they basically built up to it, which was smart booking. Which was smart booking
for that show.
I just wanted to point that out.
Definitely was smart booking. But yeah, King, he was great, and like you said, in Friday, and every other fucking. He was though.
Life,
he would
Never
come
Life.
in. By the way, it's called the original Kings of Comedy. Yeah, I fucked up.
Yeah.
Sorry. But you're right. He would come in, and next thing you know, you're laughing so hard. You're talking about that scene for fucking 25 more days.
Yeah. And to give you a perspective of how fucking iconic Bernie Mac is, like, to me, what put him on the map, in addition to, like I said, those little spot appearances he would have in movies, Def Comedy Jam. To this day, I still look at clips on YouTube. I love fucking the original Def Comedy, not the bullshit that came out in the 2000s. I'm talking about the real Def Comedy Jam. The real Russell Simmons original Def Comedy Jam.
I watched it.
And anybody, like I said, anybody that knows anything about, especially, not to make this a racial thing, Harlem and like the Showtime at the Apollo, those type of audiences, they are notoriously brutal. Notorious. So if you suck, they ain't like WWE where they're going to go boo. They're going to tell you, they will fuck up your self-esteem.
Yeah, and
like Bernie Mac had the famous I ain't scared of you
motherfuckers.
You motherfucker. Matter of fact, Fox, for the folks, we need to play that clip.
Oh, I'm sure.
Sound bites.
Give me a second here.
You know,
you were just talking about like some of this, just a couple of the movies he was in. He stole the scenes. Mo Money, when he was the doorman.
Yeah, he was in it.
That was one.
He was the doorman.
I love that. And Life, Jangalang.
Yeah.
When he was with Eddie Murphy and Martin Lawrence in Life, he was amazing in that fucking movie.
And Friday, Miss Parker, I love Bernie Mac. Damn, man, I love some Bernie Mac, man.
Life is a movie we're gonna have to go over one night. That's a great fucking movie.
Definitely. Oh yeah, that's another. Like I said, a lot of people say, Eddie Murphy, he fell off after the original fucking Nutty Professor. Like, then that came out in like 96, but he made some underrated joint, like, like I said, Vampire in Brooklyn. I enjoyed that. He did, like I said, Life. He was still making, at least to me, like, still good movies. What happened with Eddie Murphy was, once he got into that Disney realm, that's when it's like, yeah, come on, man. Like, how you go from, like, this Eddie Murphy. How you go from motherfuck this and motherfuck that? That's what people want to see Eddie Murphy do.
He got in trouble with that tranny in the.
Oh no, he was doing a good deed.
Either way, all right.
He thought he was giving like a stranded girl a ride home.
Okay.
She didn't
Let me rephrase. He got some bad publicity for the tranny. I'll put it that way. I'll go with that.
Yeah.
So when Disney came calling, what the fuck would you do? Do you know how much money Disney pays you to do voice? First of all, voice work is the easiest thing in the world from what I hear. For those people, for the celebrities, they go in, they read, they leave. They're done. They get paid millions for that. They don't have to get dressed up, no makeup, people, nothing. You go in, you read your lines. So, I got it here too. I was going to play it after this little bullshit.
I was about to send it to you. Sorry about that, folks. I worked myself up into a Bernie Mac frame of mind. But we're going to get to it. But finish your thought, Bob.
But that's what happened, dude. Disney came calling, and he said, fuck, I need to work. And he did. Meanwhile, it gave him a new little, he's done a couple of things since that, and, whatever. But I don't blame him for going with Disney. Disney is a fucking giant conglomerate, dude. That's like, a wrestler turning down WWE's, $1 million a year offer. It ain't gonna fucking happen, dude. Disney.
Oh yeah, don't get me wrong. Fucking Eddie Murphy's a fucking genius. I mean, he'll make for the rest of his life. Like you fuck the money he made in the '80s. I mean, don't get me wrong. Eddie Murphy at his peak in the '80s made a shit ton of money. But I would say even Eddie Murphy would admit that he made more fucking money off of the fucking donkey. Mm-hmm. Like, let's be honest, his career could have stopped at the donkey, and he would have been a well-fed man. People still buy Shrek shit, DVDs, downloads, T-shirts. They still quote that fucking movie. They still use it in like commercials and all that kind of stuff.
And one comes out every.
He's living like a fag.
No.
He don't have to make another fucking
And the
in his
fucking
life.
new Shrek comes out every other fucking year. Shrek
Yep,
short,
definitely,
Shrek,
yeah.
Shrek this, Shrek at Christmas, Shrek for Halloween. My kids got a bunch of fucking Shrek movies. They fucking love them though. But I mean, a lot of the people just get into Disney, and that's what they do. Look, Eddie Murphy got the Dr. Dolittle movies from that. He basically started remaking old Jerry Lewis movies. Dr. Dolittle, 1 and 2. He got 2 movies out of that. Nutty Professor, he got 3 movies out of that. Right?
I think it was
Nutty
only
Professor
2.
1, Nutty Professor 2. Wasn't there another one? The Clumps?
No. 2.
Okay.
The second one was.
So he
the
got
Clumps.
2 out of both of those. That's 4 movies right there that did amazing. The first Dr. Dolittles were huge. And the first Nutty Professor was huge.
Oh,
And then
yeah, definitely. I'm actually surprised they didn't try to squeeze a
Well,
little.
they threw Janet Jackson in the second one to kind of try to spice it up a little bit, but...
Oh, yeah. I don't give a fuck. I mean, yeah. Just say Janet to me. That was enough to get my ass to the theater. Damn, I love me some Janet, boy.
There you go.
I ain't scared of you.
Oh, let's let this
that was
play
all
out,
of it
man.
right there. But that was back when Chris Rock was the host. A young, skinny Chris Rock was the host of that show, if I remember correctly.
Oh, no, man. No, it was Eddie. Eddie.
Martin
was,
Lawrence,
Martin
you're right. He was the first host. You're right. And then Chris Rock took over for him, right?
Or maybe a little bit. Like, after, like, Martin hosted
They
it for, like,
started
the first
switching
couple
up,
years.
right? Yeah.
Yeah, but Martin, like, people will
That's
remember
right.
Martin as the host for, like
I remember
the
now,
glory
yeah.
years.
I used to watch that shit when it came out. It was a fucking amazing show, man. Yeah. Anyway, what else you got, man?
I'll say, like, let's end it on this note if we got to end it. I'm looking at this B-Mac clip. It's like 6 minutes. Let's let this shit play through. Because it's like, honestly, this is probably my favorite Bernie Mac routine of all.
Give me a second. Let me reopen it. I know which one you were talking about. I saw it back there. Give me a second here.
Yeah, I said fuck
Give me
it.
a sec. 6 minutes.
2 seconds, I think it.
I got a 6:04 one right here. All right, so here's what we'll do. Let me throw a few plugs out here. Give me a second here. Let me get that loaded up. Now I'll throw some plugs out, and then right after we sign out of this motherfucker, we'll get the hell out of here. And I'll play that right at the end here. For the countdown movie, I was going to play a little bit of Europe. The final countdown. Just for the hell of it. We'll sign off to this. All right, people. You guys can check us out on iTunes. We are at THT Movie Review. Check us out on Facebook. Facebook.com/THT Movie Review. Twitter, THT Movie Review. And at YouTube, the same thing. So check us out. Anthony, had a great time. Definitely, man. Thanks, everybody, for listening to our countdown review, and we will see y'all next week. Give me 1 second. I'm going to play that bit.
Final countdown. Got me thinking about Brian now.
By the way, you can't talk for 6 minutes.
Y'all motherfucking women look good. Y'all like a bacon and egg sandwich look good. But I love sex. I love it. Can't do shit no more. And I'm blessed. I'm big boned. I'm heavy structured. I'm hung low. If I pull my shit out, this whole room get dark. Kick it! There. I ain't scared of you motherfuckers.
All right, we'll stop it there for the for you listeners. Bobby, have fun.